So, this is looking like a mess right now.
You got this, it's not a mess.
Thank you, I appreciate your encouragement so much. So because the Wi-Fi is so truly. So basically this is kind of like a simplified version of the presentation I wanted to show, because we don't have access to certain features at the moment. But to introduce myself, hello, my name is Mikayla. I also go by Kay.
And my name is Philip Dunwoody.
Yes, so today we're going to be going through a presentation of how to develop your own motion comic or motion manga, if you will. So, as an introduction, we'll be discussing how to develop a motion comic as a more cost-effective method of storytelling as opposed to animation, but kind of like a heightened form of storytelling, maybe as opposed to a print comic or manga. So we're going to be breaking down production phases, the development process, and a little visual representation as well. So, the table of contents, as an intro. So, as a key term, a motion comic is a form of animation that combines elements of print comic books in animation, and individual panels are expanded into a full shot. And so you have sound effects, music, voice acting, and then you can also add animation at your leisure. So yeah. So another key term is world building. So this is key if you're developing a story or world. You know, there's a lot of different approaches that you can take when you're storytelling. Me personally, I like to build the world first, and like I kind of envision it in my mind, and then I kind of set the characters or players into it. But I know your method is a little bit different. Like,
yeah. So like for me, I take the philosophy, I believe it was J.R.R. Martin, but the idea of the architect and the farmer. And the architect plans every individual story beat out to its completion, all in one go before they even put into paper or draw any characters. I'm more of the farmer, which is someone who plants an idea and sort of builds off from that. And some of the benefits of that kind of comes from spontaneous sort of world building as you go along, and you aren't stuck in one spot, and that's how I see it. There are pros and cons to both of them, but that's how I personally like to world build.
Yeah, so it's really just up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I know a lot of you guys here may be storytellers yourself, maybe writers, artists, maybe even looking to get in animation or even voice acting. So in this panel, we really just want to open up kind of like our methods, what worked for us, what didn't, and maybe like provide some guidance, even though we're still learning and like very much new to this ourselves. So yeah, basically starting from ground zero. So we kind of went into this, and I normally would pull up my Pinterest as well to show, because Pinterest is like my favorite platform. Because the organization of like different visuals and like pictures and images that you have can really aid in like developing a story world. I found like you know, you can name different places in this world, find inspiration for the characters and people. So yeah, so that would be, I guess, my little tidbit. Yeah. This is a quote that I found. So it says, "You never have to change anything you got up in the middle of the night to write." So it's like, for some reason, like, I don't know if it's like this for you guys, but every time, it's always like in the earliest of the morning, like the earliest time in the morning, where like I'll just get this idea and I'm like, oh my god, okay, like let me just get up, okay, let me just reach over and grab my phone and like pull up the notes just so I can write this down, like even though it's 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. But for some reason, that's when we get our best ideas. So I would just say, don't kind of shoot it down, like don't be like, oh, this is, I don't know, like if it's worth, like I would say just write it down, write everything down. Don't edit yourself in your mind. Like just put it out there, put it on paper, and then you can from there make it even better and better. But I say like those bursts of inspiration are usually like the best ones for some reason. So here are my, I guess, quick tips regarding the writing process. So again, this is supposed to look different. I know, like, don't come for me for the fonts and everything. So the first tip is start in the middle. So there's no rule that says that you have to go in order in chronological order for your story, or like, start from the very beginning, like the Big Bang or whatever that created your world. You could just sporadically write, go all over the place. And it says write badly. That's kind of what I was saying, just like, I don't know if any of you guys are participating in NaNoWriMo this year, any of you? Oh, you? Okay, cool. You're scared? No, honestly. Wait, what?
I was telling him what NaNoWriMo is.
Yeah, it's National November Writers Month. So that's coming up in a few days. And so this challenge is basically, I think you have to write, is it 250 pages in a month?
It's how many words you write.
Oh, okay.
Is it, you can say either 10,000 or 20,000.
Okay, so yeah, it's like thousands or something. Yeah. Because I think I added it up and saw that it came out to be like around 250, 300 pages. So that's like 10 pages a day. So that's kind of a lot. It's a big undertaking, but I just think it's a really cool challenge to kind of challenge yourself. Like November, like the weather's getting colder and everything, the leaves are turning. You can, sit and like type, maybe like come up with a little like story, and I don't know, maybe something will come out of it. So I definitely encourage you guys to participate in that, just to like, what's the word? Just to like kind of get your mind to like not explode. It's something like, just to, it's something like where you just like purge all of like the ideas out of your mind, maybe, or something like that. Just to do that, I would definitely, maybe try it. You never know. So the third tip is make things up as you go. So you don't have to have all the answers in the beginning. Change things can be rearranged. Also commit to a title. Like when you pick your title, you just have to commit. Like you really have to commit to it. And I know some people like struggle more than others with the title, because it's like, it has to, like, it's the first thing people see. It has to encompass the entire story and tell exactly what it's about. But it really doesn't. I'd say maybe something attention grabbing, but I wouldn't stress about a title per se. Also, next, I'd say create a synopsis. So that's like a summary or like a quick pitch. Just something that you can give to others so they know what it's about quickly. Like, just maybe you could even use some references or something in there. But yeah. And then 6 is keep them guessing. So don't be too predictable with with your storytelling. Like play on the tropes and maybe flip the scripts a little bit. You know, I think, you know, we all love like the craziest stories. Like even though they are crazy, I think that's why we love them. You know, so I don't know, just try it. So next we'll be getting into the concept part. So also feel free, if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask, and you may be able to like pass a mic along as well. Like we don't have to push questions to the end because we may like run out of time. So definitely feel free to ask. So the concept art for the series that we're developing, this is the story art and sort of the visual aspect to the production process. So this is the setting. So this is a setting of Valencia, and this is a city that's become overrun by artificial intelligence. And so there's like classes, and it's very divided and almost segregated in a way, between humans, artificial intelligence, and then also the elves. So Philip like did really awesome work on this.
Yeah, thank you. So, like, I guess the only thing I would say, like from an artist point of view, taking like what is written and making something, a world out of what is written, is a little bit of a different experience. You definitely have to pay attention to detail and sort of think about what setting are we in? We're in the future, there's elves, there's AI. It's most likely dystopian, but very high tech, and sort of, you know, again, using Pinterest, using references, taking inspiration from other sources. Like I took a lot of inspiration from Akira, and other like cyberpunk, Ghost in the Shell, stuff like that, to kind of get the same vibes that I wanted. So yeah, definitely sketching out, just laying stuff out. Like the first one, this first sketch that I did isn't very clean at all. It's just to kind of get down a rough idea of where things would be, what kind of colors do I want here, what's the centerpiece. And the centerpiece of the entire city is this giant stadium and statue. So like I want to emphasize that in the landscape. So definitely sort of think about that from the art. Oh, sorry. Yes.
I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to ask, when you make your settings, do you keep it, like, do you make really important details and keep those consistent? Like, for instance, is there like a map that you use, like this building will always be here, or this building will always be here?
Yeah, like the stadium, for example, or Current Ink. Those are buildings that I would keep consistent. But like some of the random background stores that you're not going to see ever again, they can kind of change. Nobody's paying attention to them. You should always though make sure like where the main areas of conflict or where the plot is going to happen should always stay somewhat consistent, because you don't want to change it, because then they'll be like, what's this building? Because the building and an environment can have just as much importance to the plot as a character or anything else, and you associate that statue or this tree as a meaning for the story. Yeah.
Yeah, and for this, like I generally put like north, south, east, like the area, like generally, so you could visualize it like from a bird's eye view and everything. But I think that's like also touching on whether or not you want to do like a soft world building or like hard, where it's like you see like these really hardcore, I call them hardcore writers, because they have like pages and pages of like the smallest details like for their world, and I think that's really awesome. But it also kind of can limit you if you want to stay consistent, and then you're like, oh well, what if we change this? Oh wait, well we can't, because we already established this point that this was here, or whatever it may be.
You have a question?
Yeah. What exactly was it that made you guys want to make this comic? What was it? 'Cause the stories are always funny. That's why.
Yeah. So this actually kind of started. Okay, so it kind of started as a school project, a little bit, because we both. Well, I went to GSU, and so I Georgia State, and so for one of my senior projects, we had to just come up with some kind of just like media work. It could be anything. Like it was just. The teacher literally just said, okay, this is just, you guys can just have at it, do what you want to do, and then I'll grade it at the end of the year. So I had started an Instagram page for Talencia, and I had started posting just like cool cyberpunk stuff because I was just really into cyberpunk and still am. And like, I got inspired by this one James Cameron show called Dark Angel that came out like 20 years ago, but I was like, this is so cool because it had like the early 2000s vibe to it, and like they were using retro tech, but it was like supposed to be futuristic, which I just love. Like the idea of like someone like 30 years ago approach to futurism and like how different that would look now. So I started posting like as a little inspo page, and then my professor got me connected with Philip, and I was like, okay, it'd be so sick to do like some sort of anime or like cartoon for this, but I was like, well, that's gonna cost a lot of money or like that's gonna take a long time. So I was like, well, and then okay, at the same time, I know this is so long of the story, but I also got into Invincible, and I saw that they had motion comics up on YouTube, and I was like, what?
Oh, like a comic though? Okay, I know that one.
Yeah, Invincible on Amazon, they had comics like that already been out on YouTube, and I got into those, and I was like, a motion comic, and then so she put me in touch with you.
Yeah, and I remember, at least my perspective, I was just in game design. It was intro to game design class, and she just had a piece of paper in the front of the class, and she was like, hey, some person wants to do some school project. They need an artist and some voice actors. You want to do it? I know you do art. And I was like, sure, why not? I guess. I thought it was just going to be some like little, okay, I'll do this real quick, and then this. So, it was something. And so now I'm stuck forever.
Yeah, he signed blood oath.
I should have did that.
Contract and blood. But yeah, so that's just kind of how it started, and then it started rolling. So that's just another tip, is like when you're in school, like, or if you're taking classes, take full advantage of like every project or thing that they give you, and like, okay, how can I spin this and turn it into something that I actually want to do, or like something that I'm actually interested in and can benefit me? Because as you get into college, there are more opportunities. I know like in high school, it's like you just have to do what they tell you, but yeah, so character art, this is our main character. Her name is Mizira, and so she's an elf, and these are like images. I think different artists did all of these, but I myself, like I am an artist, but I'm really not the best. Like I'm I'm okay, but I definitely knew, like I really wanted the artwork to look good, so we got a team of like artists that we started working with, and so they all came up with these different like concepts for her. And so yeah, so this is our main character. This is kind of this white area. I wish I don't have a pointer, but where you see the outfit and like the color palette and all that, that's what I gave them, just what I was thinking of. And so they took it and like turned it into something.
So when you work with the art team, like it's more than one person, how do y'all decide what design is going to be the final base design for a character or a concept?
I think, well, I'm the art director of the project, so bringing a lot of people who have different styles and different ideas coming together to create can be very difficult. and a lot of people, I like a design. And well, at the end of the day, it comes down to what she wants, because that's that's what she. So if she doesn't like any of our ideas, you throw it in the trash. We're going to do. I think it's when you come together, you take little aspects, listening to people, communication, communicating constantly, talking about, okay, we want to change this, what makes this character, and you got to think about who this character is. What does this outfit represent for this character? Why does she wear this jacket? Why does she wear these shorts? And you got to actually think about those things and make it into a way where it's easy for a lot of people to draw. There's just a lot of consideration and a lot of things that go into play in that, but it's definitely communication and honestly just compromise. Sometimes you have to just sit down and you're like, all right, I'll give up the cool giant mecha wings and we'll do something else, And, you really want to do the mecha wings, but you can't have it.
Okay. I don't know what that was. I spelled personal, but basically, so you asked a good question though, because cohesion is really hard when you are working with a team, as opposed to just being like the main artist and having like a real clear idea of what the character looks like. Like you can see, there's definitely like variances, like there's definitely a variance in these designs, and we still we don't have like a very like super cohesive look for her. It's more so, I want it to be more so like a general gist of her character, like her features, like her elf ears, her dark red hair, like her brown skin, her like really dark eyes, and so those were like the general features that we were just going for. And with this kind of starting as a student project, it's not like any sort of professional level of artistry. So but I think that we're really executing though, and I think it's really looking great. So this is like, I guess another protagonist. His name is Riles, and so Philip came up with this really cool design.
What I do?
I have no idea. Pinterest.
Those are the voice actors. I'm sorry. I wish. But he came up with this really cool suit and design, and then we kind of like played around with different designs. Like Abiku, who was our assistant, our director, came up with this other like hoodie ensemble that you see. So we kind of like had to play it down for this pilot episode that we're developing, but like I love this suit design so much, so that is kind of going to be like more of his like fighting suit, or I guess, or like battle suit, if you will, with him being like really into tech and like engineering. He just created this suit himself. So anything?
We just, the only thing I'd add is that, and this was her idea, that every character is very attractive. It has to be attractive, so that's why I pulled up those two images. They are. Sorry. That's it.
Yeah, look, we can't act like, anyway.
It's fine, because I have a friend who will only watch anime or read manga if the main guys are hot.
See, exactly.
That's me. I'm that friend. That's me, exactly. I'm like, now who can I sub for here? I'm like, I don't really see anyone. But then you'll like see a clip from later and you're like, who is that? And like you go back and watch the show just for that. Yeah, but anyway. So this is our other character named Eris. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, he's a human. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. Okay, so this is our other character, Eris, and she's an android. So like the main three are all different races, like human, android, and elf. So I wanted that dynamic because I wanted them to kind of act like all kind of switching out as main characters in a way. I just like stories like that better. I kind of hate when the main character's in every single scene, or like almost every single scene.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Give them a break.
I know, like dang, like they can't catch a break. Like it's everything. But so this is Eris, and so she's an android, and she's like a generation 4. Like they haven't seen this type of technology yet before, and so she almost looks completely human. But she's a very introspective character, and so I definitely want her to be like more the modern mediator, kind of in between the two, Azira and Riles. And this is Blaine. So he's not the main like villain, or I guess like antagonist, but he is he gets in Azira's way a lot. So in the pilot episode, they're actually like fighting to the death almost. Not completely to the death, but like knockout. So Blaine, he's like obnoxious, but he kind of is just more of a pawn in this bigger story of like really morally gray and corrupt political figures that I want to tell. So it's kind of like a goon with like a lot of screen time. And so this is Lyra. So she's our main villain of the story. So she's actually also an elf, but she's part of this like corrupt technocratic system. And so basically they're doing experimentation with magic and tech, and so she is, I don't want to like give the entire plot away, but she's doing like really like messed up stuff. But these are all the inspirations for her design, and different suits and clothing, and so I really thought this was cool. And she's also related to the main character, so it's like drama like in that way as well. So.
Wait, what? You're not gonna tell us how they're related? You're like, no, you gotta read it.
Yeah, you gotta find out. They're related in some way. So yeah, so as we go into more of the production and like project management side, like more behind the scenes. So just to really quickly break down the production phases. So there's pre-production, which is like the planning, scripting, storyboarding, and even maybe budgeting if you have a budget. And then production, this is the actual phase where you would be drawing, sketching, inking, and coloring. And then you have post-production, which is the editing, sound mixing, and any other special effects that the project may need. So this is just a screen capture. This is from like a little while ago, but we like to use Asana. I don't know if you've heard of Asana. So I really like Asana as a project management platform. It's free, and it's free until you get past like adding 20 group members to it. So you may have to like start deleting people, like if they haven't responded in a while or something like that. But or you could pay like or do that. Pricing isn't bad, but so at the top, just above the rows, you can see different titles. So I kind of organize it as starting with the storyboard sketch phase. So a lot of this would be either me drawing, or like really, it would be my drawings or like really detailed Philip drawings that were like damn near complete like already. And then we would go to the review column where either I or Philip would review it and then move it on, and then to the ink phase. So these are cleaning up the lines, like the line art and review. And then we get to the coloring phase, just coloring. And then we have the final review tab, and then moving it on to complete. So you guys can, if you want to capture this, this will be up on YouTube as well. And so there's a link in the QR codes that you all see before you, and if you guys don't watch it, or also I do have this presentation linked as well. So if you want to capture this is really cool. Just even if you're just working with a team of 1 or 2, just so you guys can lay it out before you and see. What's cool about Asana is that you can upload the PNGs or images, and then someone else can download it, and then they can upload it, and it's all online, so everyone has access. So it's really effective file sharing as well. So here's some other assets that you'll need to develop if you're trying to produce your first motion manga episode. So the pitch Bible is definitely necessary. Like if you were ever, let's say your goal is to try to pitch this series to a network or a streaming service, you'll definitely need a pitch Bible. So that includes like the synopsis, accompanied with some concept art, like some character breakdowns, and there's a lot of templates out there as well for pitch Bibles. And then social accounts. So just start your social for this series now, like start it as soon as possible. Something that I'm doing with our social is, because I don't know if any of you guys are artists, but it's kind of hard to grow as an artist account a little bit, like you know, that's why. Yeah, like the For You page, they're not really showing art as much. Like they're more so showing like really like
For You
pretty.
page isn't really nice.
Yeah, it's
for
really.
artists.
If I can make a suggestion, Tumblr still works with growing with being an artist, so.
But it's Tumblr.
That's Tumblr.
No, like don't be hating on Tumblr, because a lot of my following came from Tumblr, so I'm like,
You're right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I heard that it was like getting popular again or
yeah,
something.
I don't like that.
You don't.
People are
Like,
okay, the thing about it is that like what makes Tumblr good is that everyone loves. Like it's
yeah.
getting bad again, people coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, every platform is toxic in its own way too. Yeah, so definitely I'd say just start that social account, and because it is kind of hard to grow as an artist, I more so kind of just started posting inspo more so, like inspiration from Pinterest. I wish I could show you guys my Pinterest, but basically I post inspo like similar to the story, and then I'll kind of intertwine that, and then for the art I'll put that on the reels and stories and the story archive, or I forgot what that's called, where you can save your stories to your profile. Yeah, I'm like, I just, the name is blank on me, but I integrate art and like actual live action content just because people on Instagram more so gravitate towards live action, and animation is just disrespected, unfortunately.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But, I don't know. But that's just maybe something to do. But also a file manager, some sort of file management system. Organize and label your folders, people. Like, if you do not organize and label your files, you will not be able to find.
I have a very cautionary tale about this. This is a real true story. This is called The Great Purge.
Yes.
So what happened was, in like, how many panels did I do? Pages did I do? Like 10, 20, 12? Put them in the wrong folder. They all deleted. And then I had to redo them over again. And I'm not going to say that, but I did want to ascend into a different plane of existence. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, so I noticed like this kind of like a little tip I don't learn. If you need to keep up with stuff, like get Discord, like just get a server and just throw everything in there, because you know Google be deleting stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
For some reason, Discord does not delete stuff, so it's a good tip.
That's something that I definitely should have added that, honestly.
And also, I'm sorry, I don't know. But I noticed that like having like a Discord server for like the people that are on your team, it's another good way to like keep up with them. Because I learned that Discord is a limit for how many people can be in a server. So
We do have a Discord that we do like communicate. We try to do our weekly meetings in. just to kind of catch up and see if people are actually doing their work or not.
Yeah.
And just a place also where we can just talk and bounce off ideas. It's very helpful to get a Discord or just a general server if you're working with a lot of people, because not everybody can come out to you or email. It's just weird. It's better to just kind of call people.
Yeah, people don't really answer emails, like so.
No. I've been telling people, like, just send it to my Discord. I'm not gonna see that email.
Yeah. What were you saying?
Oh, I just wanted to ask, what kind of social accounts should you make? Because I know Instagram, of course. TikTok, because I know some artists get popular on TikTok.
Yeah.
People steal art on TikTok too. So it's like, what should we
Which
do?
one?
And some people make a Facebook, but Facebook is not as popular anymore.
Yeah.
I use Instagram. It's worked well for me, but I've been building it for so many years. Twitter, no.
I actually heard Twitter's good for artists. I don't know.
It's very hard for me to grow on
The
there.
scary thing about Twitter is that, like, if it get outside of, like, your circle, then you don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
So,
no, God, no.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I'd say just, from my experience, Instagram, TikTok could be good, especially if you like make entertaining, like little reels for it. It can get you some like views, and get you out there a lot quicker. I guess those would be the two. Maybe Twitter.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna say TikTok just because of the discoverability model on it, like, and the exposure that you could get on there, just because the For You page mainly. And then I'll also say YouTube, just because just to document your long form content and I'd say YouTube is probably the platform where I feel like you'll probably get the most retention with your subscribers and followers on there. But that's what I would say.
I would say one more thing. There's a website called ArtStation if you're like a visual artist. It's really, really good for sort of more professional, portfolio type of website. You get in contact with a lot of other more professional artists there. It's just more of a professional environment, especially if I was going to show a client my stuff, I'd show them my ArtStation versus Instagram. Just on recognizability. That's not a word. I'm just going to go with it, and it just makes it look more professional. So I'd say ArtStation for sure.
So, and then also a note-taking software. You can use your iPhone notes, but that's the abyss though. If you really get to note-taking in those, because it's so hard to find stuff in the organization of the notes. So I would say using a note-taking software like Evernote or OneNote, they're awesome because you can search for an exact word and it'll find it for you and go to it. You can organize it very well. If you're writing, you can also have multiple tabs and folders and divide sections in there and everything. So a recommendation. So this is the audio portion and aspect. So when you guys came in, you might have heard the music playing. So that's going to be our Battle Royale theme, because with this motion comic, we're also releasing a soundtrack. So I wanted I really wanted this cool cyberpunk sound on the soundtrack. So I'm working with a lot of other music artists on that. So we're still in development, but that's just a portion for the shows. I feel for some reason a lot of opening themes it's either hit or miss. I feel a lot of opening themes are just, I feel that makes the show when somebody wants to sit through the opening or if they skip it, I feel it makes a difference, Yeah, so
that's not a good thing if people want to skip it.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, but getting to the audio portion, this is a layout of the soundtrack. It looks really rough right now because of the reformatting that happened. But okay, this one even load. Okay. Yeah, well, you guys heard some of it already. I might play some of it after too. Oh wait, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Yeah. Okay. So.
But yeah, I guess I'll cut in here. But like working with musicians and audio, that also includes, by the way, voice actors, musicians, other sound effects and like special effects that you're going to add into the audio. And especially when you're making a motion comic or animation, that's definitely going to add a different layer of build and world building. Audio is really, really big. Working with artists, you know, the music that you choose to use in your story can really enhance the world that you're building and really, you know, make it feel like a believable world because it's the music that they would listen to, you know, in this world.
Right. So there's just some royalty-free music resources that you guys can use if you are looking to add like a theme or something. And yeah, I have SoundCloud on here because a lot of that music is not even like copyrighted on SoundCloud.
Oh.
Like, yeah, like I'm like, do you guys know that? Do you guys realize that somebody could steal this from you? Like, I don't know, but yeah, but I'd say like if you really like an artist on SoundCloud or an artist that may be just coming up, you could message them, email them, and you're like, hey, I'd love for you to like your song to be like the opening theme for my series, and you know, it's a whole other, I guess, like aspect that you can just add for your world that would just, you know, elevate it in that way. So yeah. So in regards to finding voice actors, so for us, I just put this little ad out and I just sent it to all the campus groups and stuff that I could find. Like I like joined the drama club really quick and like sent that and like just sent it to everyone. And so you can just make some little flyer, little deal, and then you want to put like a brief description, and then maybe lay out a little bit of the character types that you're looking for, and then just have them email you their submission. Maybe, you know, you can, what I didn't want to just put the script out there for everyone to see. I just said, you can email me if you're interested, and then I'll send you or give you access to the script. And so like maybe, you know, just so you protect that. And yeah, so they just emailed me, and then we have some like really awesome voice actors. And here are some other casting websites if you want like more professional level. A lot of actors will do like not-for-profit projects and work, so those are just some resources I use. So yeah, so this was our audition process. This is one of our voice actors named Evan, and he does the Game Master voice, and it's so funny. Like his audition was so cool. Yeah. Like, and he's an animator himself, so he knows how to edit. So he like edited the sound effects and like the audience in his audition and everything. Like it was completely like awesome. So I don't think it will put. Yeah, it won't put. I got started. Yeah, I would play it, but I have his audition pinned to here just because it was so cool. Yeah, so this, what? Okay. This is not working. Okay, okay, does anyone have any questions before we proceed? Yes.
Okay, so I feel like I already am kind of like a step ahead, because it's like I already kind of have that following, but it's like I feel like that confidence not there because I already have like written stories. And I'm in the process of turning one of them into a comic, and people really like the comic. And I really, people are more likely to watch something than read something. Because I was like, because it was an online novella, and then I turned it into a comic because I was like, more people are likely to read something with pictures than regular writing. And then I was like, people are more likely to write something. So I was like in the process of making it into a dub. But what holds me back from doing it is that like I'm so scared, and I'm just like, you're already gonna have an audience of people that are gonna watch whatever you put in front of them. But like, how do you go about having the confidence to get it out? Because it's like I work on it, and then I get really scared and nervous that people are gonna hate it or whatnot, and then just put it away. Like,
I think I also write. I made a story. It's called 107 Swords. I worked on like outside of just this. And I think I've been writing it for years, and I was like, how am I don't know if this is right. How's people gonna see this? Are they gonna think this? And then I just, a great example, because I was scared. For me personally, I was scared that like I thought my art wasn't good enough for it. And I think one of the biggest inspirations was a combination of Jujutsu Kaisen, and if you've seen the first, One Punch Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Mob Psycho, and the first couple chapters of Attack on Titan, you can see that their art isn't that great. And I think the most important thing is that when you go out and do it, it's just more so about, there's nothing I can really say. It's just other than you have to do it.
You kind of have to be delusional.
Yeah.
Because it's like my art style is like it's like the panty and stocking art style, and me, I think it's really cute. It's like that and like chibi, like a mix of that. But then I was on the internet and saw a whole bunch of people think that art style was ugly, and I was just like,
well, I mean, you also gotta think if they find it ugly, then they're just not gonna watch it. That's on the that's on that. And the people who like it are gonna watch it.
And I'll be like transparent. What is it?
You can't give it down.
So don't give it down.
Some people like it, some other people aren't. You gotta have others that are gonna like it. Those aren't. You can have a mess of people who like certain styles and those who don't. So eventually gonna find like a group that actually likes what you like.
Your niche, you just gotta jump.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Yeah, and you won't be able to learn unless you do it. So just do it. You'll learn along the way.
because I got this really mean hate comment about me doing the panty and stocking art style, and I was just like. No, the thing about it, the person's sitting on anonymous too, so I was just like, I shouldn't even take your comment into consideration.
Yeah, they have no life. They live in their mom's basement. That's what they think. Like they don't do anything. They're not out here making comics, and doing what you do.
They live in the trenches.
Yeah, they live, they've been in the trenches like me, you just can't care. You just can care less, and if they're hating that much to the point where like they're buying your comics just to hate on it, well, that is money.
Well, you watched it. You just gave me AdSense.
Right. You gave me money anyway. So,
But you watched it.
yeah, you watched it. You gave me money.
Watched
Either
it,
way,
though.
doesn't matter.
All the details. Yeah, so I'll be transparent with you. So we were supposed to release this months ago. So I was like, dang, this is still up here, because I was like, yeah. So I kind of got in my head because I got some feedback from someone really close to me that said this is terrible, straight up. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, straight up, and I was like, okay, but I kind of agreed with them, because I was like, I know I can do better, but it's just kind of the delivery was kind of it was like, damn, okay.
I think also just a general tip, when you're writing, people will say it's terrible, and to be honest, your first stuff may not be great. It's not going to be the best next hit, but if you do it consistently more and more over and over, you build, and maybe your first episode isn't that great, and the second episode, that's what I do. Yeah, I just get better, and I keep learning and keep striving to the point where it actually is good, and more people like it. And even if people don't like it, screw them. That's just not for them. You can't be so swayed on what people say about your art. It's your art. It's what you made. They didn't make it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you straight up, you said that. And so I just, for the release of this pilot, I can just say like coming soon, because I've lost credibility with people.
No, when it's just coming out, it'll be out now.
Yeah, like when I'll let you know. Like, yeah, because like that's another thing, like, you know, like when you have an audience, that's a whole other issue. Like it's a whole other problem. Like I know you, like it's like a whole other beast to deal with. It's like I'm trying to find an audience. It's like, well, when you have an audience, like you know.
It's like they like me for one thing, but I'm like, are you gonna like me for the other thing I do?
But it's like, it's like they have to like you for you and like your ideas, like, because if they only like you because of like 1 or 2 videos you did, it's like, okay, you don't really, you know, you're passive. I don't really, I'm not really trying to like, I appeal to you.
I think that's why I was like so scared, because like so many people follow me for like commentary and like my face, but I'm like, oh, look at my art stuff too. Like I do other things.
Yeah, but you know, yeah, you're in a unique spot, like for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
People were trying to.
I'm sorry.
No, she was just telling us the time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just like it just kind of get on my nerves when people like I may stop listening to people on the internet first of all, but I don't like when people be like, you already have a leg up because you have all these followers and this and the third, and I was like, I understand that, but like, do y'all not understand that I started with 0 followers just like you did, and it took me years to get to this point. This all didn't just happen in like a year or 2, and then even then I still have to like, you know, put my work in to show that I was deserving of to getting this. And like it just makes me mad. Like I think that's why I kind of been so nervous about it, because I don't want people to be like, oh, you have a lot of followers, so you can just put anything out there and they'll like it. And I'm like, no, like that's not the case.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's a lot, and it's like you have to get to a point where you just don't even care. Like you just have to like stop. You know, it's like I'm putting this out. I'm proud of it, so it will find its way. Like, you know, it's only going to get better. You know, we're only going up from here. That's all I say. So,
yeah, I just say, you know, again, you can't care a lot. Don't think about it. You just gotta do what you do what you love. This is what you want to do. It's your passion. They're not helping you make it. They're not sitting down writing early in the morning. They're not staying up all night drawing the panels. They're not doing any of that. They just get to sit around and
they wish they had the courage.
Yeah, they wish they had the courage to do it. Because if you told them to draw something, they draw a stick figure.
It takes a lot to make something.
Yeah, it does. But just my biggest advice always is just as simple as just do it. Just post it. Just do it. Like, I'm serious. You know, just post it. And then once you post it, you'll be proud. You get those likes, and then more and more people you like it, and it'll make you feel better and better. The more you post, you get more and more confidence. The more you post.
You may get some hate. Sometimes you get hate, but you just gotta brush it off and keep going.
Yeah, I think we could wrap it up here. Actually, on time. So that's cool. Yeah, thank you guys so much for attending, and in the QR codes, there's a link to a Discord group. So on Discord, you know, we talk and voice chat and like have meetings and stuff. But I know if you guys are also developing your stories, and I really love to like chat with you guys like about your own personal developments that you're working on there. So
Thank you so much for being here. You got a question?
Where do we follow you all at? How do we support you all today?
Oh, today? Well, we're everywhere at Talencia, TCAI. So, this is the spelling. Yeah, and like the green papers will take you directly to. Wait, I could probably pull up the QR code just to be like a mass scan. Yes.
Yeah, so you scan that QR code and take you to the Discord here. If you want to, follow us individually, my Instagram, I make art. It's DRBRUM 2002. That's where a lot of my artwork is. So
Spell it again.
sorry, DRBRUM and 2002. That's where I post a lot of my personal art. You can also check out my series there as well if you want to see that. But yeah.
You did it one more time.
Sorry. It's DR, BR, and then a U and then an M. Yeah, 2002. But like when people, they don't get it. It's not supposed to be. That's fair. Actually, what's your name? I'm sorry.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, Harriana.
Ariana? What's
Yeah.
your Instagram actually? Because I want to know about your thing.
Oh. HARRI.
I can send it to you.
Yeah. We're mutuals.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you're right.
They're gonna kick us out. So. Here we go. Thank you guys for being here so much. We really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I gotta run to the call back. Okay.
Yeah, I'll catch you.
You just DM me. Like,
Okay.
and I will see you working